when Stanley passed, I found out what you call late at night, and it kind of, I don't know, it just was an impact. I never met the guy, but this guy shaped all of our childhood. Like every definition of a hero, every definition of a story, the problems this universe, and I use the term universe like that doesn't encapsulate this galaxy. This guy created that touched all of us. I couldn't sleep that night, so I quickly said, you know what, I gotta do something. And literally from maybe 8 hours of me hearing about this, I produced this art piece. And when I posted it and everything, a good friend of mine said, how much for it? And automatically, your soul turns around and goes, you can't make money off this. You do this is not cool. So I said, you can have it, just pay for the shipping. And the guy went, score. And I'm like, dude, you're not understanding the gravity of the moment here.
Yeah, exactly. You missed the whole thing.
You missed the whole thing. I'm trying to be dramatic.
I wanted tears, dude.
I wanted tears, like, thank you so.
No. I couldn't possibly. It's too good. Yeah.
How much is shipping? I'm like,
Guys, welcome to another episode of Jibber with Jabber. Today is going to be an absolutely amazing episode. I've got with me artist Tariq, Sharif.
Hey guys.
I'm a big fan, and it's crazy because I became a big fan overnight.
Yeah.
After seeing the stuff, and dude, your stuff is amazing, bro.
Thank you so much. I don't see myself as an artist. I see myself as a guy that just cuts paper and makes a mess, or confetti, as my wife would say.
But this is the thing. It's kind of funny that you say that, because we can actually start this conversation like that. What is art, dude? Because there's so many levels to it, and how do you view art? Because I can't be dealing with this 3 drips on a paper going for $1 million. Like, I just don't.
You're referring to the banana that was stuck to the wall. There's a lot of layers to that. It's people that
no pun intended.
No pun intended. When I see a lot of people with a lot of talent. I mean, I've seen artists that put their heart and soul into it. And what gets me is there's certain people that will just do like the 3 drops on the paper and stick some cleavage in the way, and then, oh my God, 3 million followers. I mean, here's something. I've been doing this for about 6 years. I'm trying to get my art out, doing all the hashtags, all the algorithms and everything, and nothing.
Nothing's happening.
Okay.
Instagram have a way of putting down people with talent.
Yeah. I mean, I wish there was a way they say, okay, look, you are classed as an artist. Let's push.
There is a way to do it, and you need to buy a few thongs, to be honest, and that's the way you're going to get your art.
Do they have triple extra large with extra support?
Dude, they will. No, there's actually an app that's coming out. I don't know if I can talk about it, but it's just for artists. And it's not just for artists. It's based, everyone can be on it. Similar to Instagram, TikTok, that stuff, everything all in one, but it's for the creative. So it's really interesting. I'm gonna put you there. I don't know if I can do that. You know what? I'm gonna ask them after, and then it's called Stitcher. if I can't, then it's called nothing. Bleep 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 it out. I just don't understand it.
It breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. You go to all these art galleries and so on. I mean, there are people that have money to buy the art, but there are some artists, which will remain nameless, that I've seen that stand up in the middle of a hall and go, I feel inside the children speak to me, and I just produce the art, and I give myself to the earth, and I've been to places, and it's like, there's me. I just been down to Waitrose, picked up some eggs, did an art piece. Where's my love?
But then you look at the picture that they're presenting after that speech, and it's a tissue with a booger hanging on it, that's stuck to a piece of paper.
There was one art piece, if I can remember, they bought it for about like 45 million. They stuck it up, and it was up for about 2-3 years, and someone said that picture's upside down.
Yeah, and then that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, well, art is subjective. It has to invoke a reaction.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because this.
I mean, this is art.
Yeah.
Okay, a talented person came down and did this. I appreciate it. I love it. It adds value. To anything. But then when you got someone going, this is basically like just a little line there that was deliberate. That's just a $45 million.
This is
mistake.
the thing. Art should, for me, I mean, I could be wrong, and there's a whole, there's millions of people and a whole, society of people who value art and look at art and all that stuff. But if I don't know what the picture is, it's not art to me, and it's not very good.
But it should have a reaction to
I want to know that's a duck. Like, I don't want to look at it and go, you know, it could be a duck, but then again, it could also be a chair on its side, and then it could be a, you see
The
that,
inner workings of the mankind.
yeah,
And,
it's like, oh, give me a break, man. I want to know that's a Ninja Turtle. I like Ninja Turtles. Show me Michelangelo.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Which one? This doesn't have orange bandana. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. No,
Yeah.
this is wrong.
Yeah.
But it's all about the crowd. Like you have the fine art crowd that will go, this is produced by Leonardo or Michelangelo, and we're talking about the proper artists here, not the Ninja Turtles, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
But
Michelangelo drawn by Michelangelo. Right?
there's got to be a meme out there somewhere. But when you get like artists, I mean, there's some young talented, like I was doing a show and this guy came up to me, a young man, and he was like, look what I made. And he literally copied my technique, and I was so blown away. And he's like, this took me forever to do. And I'm like, well, let me teach you a trick I've learned that halves the time. And he was like, why didn't I think of that? I'm like, that's the same question I had 2 years ago. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
And he came back the following year with a Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie.
Nice.
He said, I want you to, is this good enough? I'm like, good enough for what? I want to give this to my girlfriend. I went, dude, this is from you. This is already good enough.
Yeah.
And he was so chuffed. And I was like, I'm nobody. But he kind of looked at my work and went, here's someone that's been cutting for about, 7 years now. And
Little did he know you're in the corner just going...
yeah. So that was it was a touching moment. That someone got inspired by what they saw, and that's what art is all about. It's always inspiration.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the work I do is I see some of the great artists that I like Clayton Crane, Michael Turner, what was the other one? Gabriel Del Oro, and I see their work. I'm like, how do they do that? And then I try and emulate that in the paper cut that I do.
So what was your initial... I mean, how do you find out you have that talent? It's such a weird thing. Like, how do you... Again, what was your inspiration? I know they inspire you, but what was your inspiration to be like, okay, I'm going to start cutting things? Were you into art before?
I was a creative person beforehand. I used to do creative writing. I used to be in marketing. And I enjoyed that problem. Like, we need to talk to X, Y, and Z. Do you have an ad for this, or do you have a way of speaking to? And the most creative ways I would come up with, and someone says, "Oh my God, that's great! Let's water it down and make it dumb." And I hated that. So when I saw art, I think it was I had an idea. We had a situation with one of our. We want to do a branding campaign, but I wanted a matte black finish to a very flash color, and you can't print that. Like these colors here, you can't. You have to get the actual paint, and it was costing an arm and a leg to do this. So I'm sitting there on a Friday morning, racking my brain, and my brother comes through. He's like, "You're still doing this?" I went, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, look, just cut it out, and let's go get some breakfast." And I looked at him. I'm like, "What? Breakfast? Do you want breakfast?" And an expletive right after that. And I went, "No. This is the idea." So I went, "Okay, let me cut out what I don't want and put the flash behind it." It bloody worked. I mean, you got like a vivid green on a black.
Yeah.
And the office loved the idea and they ran with it. And I thought, can I apply this to something else? And I did. And I've got some art pieces here. I'll show you the first one that I did. And that one took me 2 weeks to cut. And,
wow.
And that was a nightmare and a half to do.
2 weeks.
2 weeks to do.
First one.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, which layer goes first? This one, that one. And then I buggered it up so many times.
Yeah.
It was like, I had like the carpet knife.
Ah, okay,
I had the wrong tools.
Yeah.
You should see the kitchen table after I did it,
Yeah.
and that wasn't ours, by the way. I discovered
after when you were leaving. Like, yeah.
They're like, yes, you made problems with the table. Oh, that.
I want my deposit back.
Yeah.
Yes, no more deposit.
No.
Table gone.
No, table. We burn it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so that was a very harsh lesson. So, but with art, you make mistakes, and every time, like, if I revisit some of the old stuff that I did, I go, I actually sold that? Yeah. Someone bought that? But then you go, no, that was your journey to get to where you are. I mean, I'm sure the first podcast you have right now is on a Nokia.
Dude, the first one I had was absolutely amazing. I hit the ground running and it was great. No, it was a disaster. Dude, the first podcast I did, I didn't realize that the show wasn't just about me. So I was literally, every time the guest was saying something, I was like, yeah, but listen. And I was just interrupting so much that out of an hour, it was like 50 minutes of me interrupting and then 10 minutes of the guest. And I was just like, Yeah, well, that didn't quite work out. So it had to take me a while to realize that, okay, you need to let people speak. Like even till my last episode, my editor's like, yeah, you're doing better, but still, stop it.
Shut up.
Let them talk. And I'm just like, yeah, but it's a bit about me too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's me, you know, it's my show. Ask me about my day.
Exactly. So about your first piece, that was of what?
That was of the Heath Ledger Joker.
Ah.
So I went ahead with this. I was like, okay, I finished with the marketing project. I'm like, I want to try something. That's one color. That's one color. That's one color. Maybe if I cut it out in a way, and by the end of it, I almost gave up. My hands were blistering. I got a callus, and of course, the best bandages are the Spider-Man ones that you can get. They heal 10 times faster, and and when you get a paper cut, shuts down production.
Yeah.
You take 2 weeks off holiday, paid leave, you're good.
That's it.
So when I started doing that, I was like, I literally butchered this. You know, I followed the line that I put down, and then I went, okay, and the blade started breaking, and I was thinking, this is costing me a time to do this. But when I finished it, I showed it to a friend of mine, and he went, I'll give you 60 for it, 60 dirhams. And I went, no, buddy, I'm keeping this. And the more I resisted, the more he wanted it. So I sold it to him for about 3,000. So,
Nice.
cha-ching. And then when I realized, I just sold this. So I started cutting some more, and I cut what I liked, and it brings me on to a good friend of mine named Munir, who said, we can sell this. I went, what? He's like, we can sell this. I'm like, how are you going to sell this? This is just me doodling with a knife. No, we do a catalog, and we go to Comic-Con. I went, and we sell it. I went, I have no sales experience at all. So he badgered me. He said, let's do this. So I started cutting. So Comic-Con was in 4 weeks' time, and I had to cut art pieces of everything that I could think of. Batman, Superman, Flash, Hulk, you name it. And the standards now, when I look back, I'm like, if I show you the first catalog, you're like, you were selling this, 4 pieces of paper for 800. Let's get this right. Is that what you're asking here? I went, yes, that's what I'm asking for. And people bought it. So when my first sale came in, I told Munir, I said, I don't know how much I made. Let me know on the last day. So my wife, or then fiance, was like, yeah, I'll come along with you guys. So she started selling, and Munir was helping me sell. And he was telling me the techniques. He's like, you only have 10 seconds to get across what this is.
Because Munir does NLP, right? So
he does NLP.
He knows all about.
He knows about. I mean, he's an incredible salesman. So he was trying to tell me on the ride from Abu Dhabi to Dubai on the day of, okay, and he's like, talk to them, maintain eye contact, don't take no for an answer, all those techniques. And they were very good techniques, but I'll tell you later on how I developed my own. And so we were standing there, and I'm like, okay, it's Comic-Con. I want to sell. And I'm worrying about the 5,000 that we spent. I'm worried about the 3,000 that I spent on the paper and the blades and everything. I'm worried about the extra 2,000 that I traveled from Bahrain to here. I'm just thinking, I'm like, we're not even going to break even here. By the end of the show, Munir, my wife Sharnay, and I had sore feet. But I think on the third day, one guy came in, and he was like, how much for this one? How much for this one? How much for this one? And he just literally started pointing at the bigger pieces and whatever. I'm like, that one's 7,000, this one's 3,000, that one's da. And he's like, they come with frame? I went, yeah, of course they come with frames. Okay, you take cards? Huh? You take card. I'm like, yeah. So I'm still skeptical throughout the whole journey of this guy, because by the end of the Comic-Con, I'm thinking we're not doing too well. The guy just swiped, beep, 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 beep. Me and Munir, my wife, literally stood at that screen for the longest time, accepted. We looked at him, Habibi, would you like an extra one? We will take it to the car.
We have some dates, come sit,
sit and whatever. He's like, no, he said, take it to my, I was like, all right. So he bought a whole ton of art. And already from that calculation, I already know that I made 50,000 from that.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there going, okay, maybe we broke even. So we took everything and went back to Munir's house. I'm sitting there freaking out, going, our expenses. And he started laughing. He's like, why? He said, we actually made a whole ton of profit on this. I went, we're doing it again next year. And we went ahead with it. And, credit to him for pushing me, or this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, would you think it was the Comic-Con that kind of really pushed you out there? Because your name's known around the place now. There's a lot of people, a lot of celebrities who have your stuff.
Yes, they do. At the Comic-Cons, it's basically I don't see myself as like I'm just there as an artist, but I kind of want to lift everyone around me on my row.
Yeah.
Like we had a girl that was doing makeup. We had a guy next to us that was doing does Kashuf Studios. He's actually doing a video game. So it was kind of like, all right, I need to know what you guys are doing, so I can, if I can't get a sale out of this, next guy, you might do better than, you might fare better than me, and yeah. So, but then I met Anthony Mackie at one of the Comic Cons. He came up, no photos. I went, bro, how are they gonna know? I said, I'll tell you what, let me give you a Muhammad Ali. I like this. Can I get a photo? No. I went, okay, well, I'm not watching Winter Soldier then,
exactly. Exactly.
It's a fair trade. And yeah, I got to meet the guy, wasn't Frost from Shaun of the Dead. You just meet these people and they're awesome. And the one guy's like, no, I don't want it. I just want to be here. And I got like some of the celebrity pictures I'll show you later on. It's been a journey, man.
Yeah, that's insane. So how do you go from... No, let's take it back, because you originally, because you've changed your name now. Now it's Rick's Blades.
Yeah.
Where did the name Arkham come from? I'm guessing Batman.
Yeah, of course, but it came from a place of fear.
Okay.
Because what happened was I needed a name. They said, okay, what do we call you? I still to this day don't view myself as an artist. A creative, yes. So I'm like, I gotta hide behind something. I gotta hide. So it was Arkham. I went, Arkham Creative. I want to be known as the Arkham Creative. But then after a while, I was like, oh, welcome to Arkham Creative. And I'm like, I'm working for this, but I'm the guy. And then I spoke to Sam De La Rosa, spoke to a couple of the artists, and they've got their name front and center. And I was like, how do you? He's like, yeah, we felt that was a fear when we first started out. We always had pseudonyms, or we had like ghostwriter names. He's like, your work is good. And when your friends go, your work is good, but like, no, it's not. No chance. That's good. I'll buy it. No chance. So I don't believe my friends, because the friends I have are quite douchey.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, go ahead, do it. Good idea. He's gonna fucking fail, kind of thing.
He's gonna fail. Get ready to take him out the WhatsApp groups.
So when you hear other artists, like my friend Scott, this guy's a genuine artist. I mean, he draws horses now. He's going through a horse fetish right now.
Horses and hands are the hardest things to draw.
But this guy,
they're known
with watercolors, with oil paint, you name it, he's nailing it. Okay, and he said, your work is good. I went, do I believe him? So it's kind of like these little increments of people saying, hey, you're good. Like if someone told you your show is good, you go, why are you saying that? What do you want? You have that skeptic side. So I'm not giving you a discount just because you said, okay, maybe I will. Flattery will get you everywhere. So to this day, flattery, I'm kind of scared. So with Arkham, I wanted to hide behind it. And I was like, okay, I can live here. If DC come after me, you need to shut down. I'm telling everyone, I said, if DC shuts me down, I want that cease and desist letter. That's going on the wall. DC told me to knock it off. That's what I wanted. They didn't notice
Shows
me.
you're gaining traction.
They didn't notice me, so so maybe now. Sorry, DC.
So you went for Rick's Blades.
Rick's Blade. Rick is basically a nickname that I have from Tariq to Rick. And my because I grew up in the UK, a little bit of the UK, they couldn't pronounce Tariq. It's Tariq or Tarak. And
I had Ahmed.
You Ahmed? So they called me Ricky. So then it just came Rick, and then it just stuck.
How did it affect, obviously, so you get into it, you're starting to do this thing, you're going to the Comic-Cons, boom. Sharona comes and kind of stops everything and puts it down.
Oh, dude! The night before that was eerie. The last Comic-Con, you could feel that this thing was a presence in the halls. People were like, "What do we do?" And me and Scott had two booths together. He was selling his artwork, and we were just setting up. We could literally feel the tension in the room. So when Comic-Con came, people were coming over, and we didn't have masks. There was no mask mandate then. So everyone said, just wipe your hands. So what happened was the guys from MIFEC came down, and they gave us these little spray bottles. And so while Scotty was talking to this lady, I was just bored. No one was coming out of my booth. So I was spraying everyone, going, unclean, unclean. Okay, and this lady was just talking away, and I went, American, dirty. Okay, and she started doing this. She started... And Scott was, and I walked off, just spraying everyone. It was sanitizer, for crying out loud. And Scotty came up to me and said, that woman's allergic to sanitizer and you've given her a rash.
No.
Okay. And the whole time Scotty was trying to make a sale. Her whole hand just turned red. And I'm like, I might have killed someone. That's a story to tell the kids.
And insulting them before.
Yeah, dirty American.
Dirty Americans. She dies. It's automatically terrorism.
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, somewhere on some blog, attacked in the GCC for bio.
Mate, so all right, so you now start selling. So you leave your job and start doing this, or
what happened was I was doing this as a hobby. Then the company downsized, and they were like, "Bye," and I was like, "I just got married. So what? Are you picking this time?" He's like, no. Well, literally before I got married, he was like, I said, listen, I'm going away. I know this thing's happening. Do I have a job when I get back? He went, yes. I came back. He went, no. You had till now. So I was like, damn it. So so my wife was like, all right, listen, Bahrain for me was a tiny market. My uncle always said to me, he said, you go to a place that have more Lamborghinis than sense. Bahrain's got a couple of Lamborghinis. Abu Dhabi and Dubai, I think they're literally taxis now. And police cars. There you go. And so my wife said, okay, look, let's try over here. So when I came over here reluctantly, people love the work. So a couple of hotels have picked up the Rove and the address. I've got my artwork in their lobbies. The celebs that I have, I think the list is over there. Like you have Ian Rush, you have some of the Liverpool fans, John Barnes, Robbie Fowler. What was the other one?
Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell. That was an interesting one. A friend of mine in the UK, James Davis. He has a hair salon over there, and he said to me, "I can get you Simon Cowell." I went, "All right, don't do him. Do his girlfriend." Who?
You're like, all right. I didn't want to do him, but yeah.
Yeah, so I did sent it off, and he said, yeah, you got it, received it, and well. But the thing about the art that works is it's very personal.
Yeah.
So that's what people loved. If you get a picture of yourself, you're going to be like, I'm special. Someone likes me. Someone took time to do this. Yeah. So that's where the art went with that.
Because a lot of things, because not just the Marvel and the DC world that you do a lot of other stuff as well.
Oh yes.
Portraits and that stuff. We'll go through a lot of them there. But how do you get to celebrities? How is it that your art gets to them? Is it usually word of mouth, or
it's definitely word of mouth? So like when I met you that night, you went, how do you do this? And you were just intrigued by it. Yeah. So at like the Comic Cons, people would come by and people would just see it as a picture or a print, and
they look closer.
They're like, huh? What? And some of the sales techniques that I had to use were basically, I see a couple and I go, excuse me, sir, are you married or are you happy? And the guy just starts laughing, okay? And I'll tell them stuff like, do you love your wife? And they'd go, they look at her and you got that death stare. Of course I do. I love my wife very much. I'm like, then I've got an anniversary present for you. But from there, I insulted enough people to go, you've got to meet this lunatic. And so far, that's how I met the celebs through there. And like to this day, I'm like, I can't believe that. Sorry there. It's all about you. And are you feeling better?
Do you know what it is? I'm just trying to get it back on me again. There's been a long time that you've been talking and stuff, and I'm just like, me. No. Yeah. Who is your ultimate celeb to have your piece hanging in their house?
Oh,
would it be a piece of one of your pieces or a piece of them?
Well, a while ago, I'm proud of this, that I reached out to a celebrity that's here based in Dubai, Supercar Blondie. A couple of years ago, she was, how should I say, she got a lot of hate before she took off. And I reached out to her and I said, listen, I would like to do an art piece to tell you that there are people that will hate you and there are people that love what you're doing. Enjoy the haters, because one day they're going to be quiet and you're not important enough. So I did an art piece for her and I sent it off, and she put me up there. I'm still proud that by that connection that she's taken off from there. But I just like the celebrities to name off the top of my head would have to be Sir Patrick Stewart. There's the guys from the Bomedy.
Okay.
Those guys, Ali Sayed and his wife Mina. So you put me on the spot right now. You're just asking, who are the celebrities you know? Oh, do you know Stacey?
No, but who would you want?
Oh, who would I want?
Yeah. Oh, who is your ultimate, that if you could have a commission from them?
Oh, that would be Michael Jordan.
Jordan.
for me, or Mike Tyson, Robert Downey Jr. That, or even Thanos himself. I mean, that would be like, I would like one of these pieces, and I'd be like just blown away. I'm like, you want a piece from me. And then I would call myself an artist and say the art comes from within, and I use the blades from...
Yeah, the paper is about the levels of the psyche.
Yes.
So it's not just very kind of 2D. We like to kind of...
we spiritually...
I don't know why you turn into a camp artist.
It just happens. It just happens because you believe the person straight away, where you go, it's about the soul of the art piece. I mean, one thing, this is a true story. It was my youngest was born, and my friend Scotty said, I'm going to do a commission for you. I went, okay. So he made was a South African oryx, okay, but he did it on a parchment, okay, and he placed it in glass. He said, this is for you on your second son's or your youngest's birthday. I went, thank you. So I put it up, and I kept looking at the parchment. I'm like, that's not real paper. And I called him up. I'm like, Scotty, what paper did you? It's not paper. It's elephant dung.
No way.
I said, you literally gave me shit.
I have shit on my walls.
Painted shit on my wall, and I love the picture so much. And now you told me it's made of elephant dung. Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
He's like, well, that's why I put it in a frame. Because the smell, dude.
That's what I think of you.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I remember when I met you through good old Rashid.
Yeah.
Making connections through Speedy Comics. The first piece that really, I went onto your Instagram page and I was just like, my eyes were like, but the Stan Lee.
Yes.
And I want to show this video of the Stan Lee, because now we've been talking for a long time, and now people can kind of understand the process that you go behind to do this. You know.
So basically, what I want, before I set this up,
1 minute, pause that, please. Thank you.
So I would like to set this up. When Stanley passed, I found out what you call late at night, and it kind of, I don't know, it just was an impact. I never met the guy, but this guy shaped all of our childhood. Like every definition of a hero, every definition of a story, the problems this universe, and I use the term universe like that doesn't encapsulate this galaxy. This guy created that touched all of us. I couldn't sleep that night, so I quickly said, you know what, I gotta do something. And literally from maybe 8 hours of me hearing about this, I produced this art piece. And when I posted it and everything, a good friend of mine said, how much for it? And automatically, your soul turns around and go, you can't make money off this. You do this is not cool. So I said, you can have it, just pay for the shipping. And the guy went, score. And I'm like, dude, you're not understanding the gravity of the moment here.
Yeah, exactly. You missed the whole thing.
You missed the whole thing. I'm trying to be dramatic.
I wanted tears, dude.
I wanted tears, like, thank you so.
No. I couldn't possibly. It's too good. Yeah.
How much is shipping? I'm like,
no, dude, Stan is something else, because even the way he cameos in the films.
Yes.
It's never I want to put myself in a douchey kind of way. It's always like, oh, granddad, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's like he's like your family. It's like, oh, we're seeing,
because you saw him through the games, like the remember the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was probably the first time I ever heard him.
Yeah.
I mean, out living in the Middle East, what, 90? Yes, kids, I am 42 years old. I was born before Google.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I was born, same, before internet, before phones, dude.
You had the pager?
Before mobile phones. Yeah,
Did you have that code book?
We had before pages, dude. When you had to go, you wanted to call, you make sure your friends don't have 8s and 9s in their numbers, because you have
to wait.
Ring.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Stuff.
We used to have, my granddad used to have the telephone, and used to have an extension at the back, and it was kind of like you can hear but you can't talk.
Yeah.
That was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we come from a different age and era, dude. Then some of these people will never know the struggles, which were actually the best times.
Bro, I used to come and knock at people's door and like, can Ahmed come out and play?
Yeah.
Ahmed, you want to go out and play?
Yeah. And if he's not there, you know where he is. He's at Bilal's house, or they've met at the place.
Try that now. If I meet you, if I say let's meet down in JBR, and you're not there at 9 o'clock, no phone. That's it. Our friendship is over.
That's it.
That's
9:10, it was done.
He died.
Yeah.
He died.
Yeah.
And I literally forgot what we were talking about.
No, we're talking about Stan and just.
Yeah. Like, so in like the first time I heard Stan was in '94, and the comic pop culture was nothing here. Like you would have to go to London to even get a glimpse of it. So when you play these games, you'd hear his voice, and then you'd see the little cameos. And then when Spider-Man came out in '02, I watched that movie 4 or 5 times, and then they said Stan Lee's in it. I went,
Where?
what?
Yeah.
You go back and rewatch
Yeah.
it again, and then you realize this guy struggled.
Yeah.
Like the beginning, people thought that the artwork it was silly. Why would you dream of a man swinging?
Spider,
No one's going to read that. But for me,
Someone had the last laugh there.
Hmm?
Someone had the last laugh there.
Yeah. But for me, it was just he just like every kid has a journey. And when you're having a tough time, you read one of his comics, you go, I can relate to that. And I still, to this day, it tears me up when I hear what some of the stuff he's done. So this is just setting up. That's a long
So
setup.
this
I do
one, we're
apologize.
gonna get it up. Yeah, this one just blew me away. This is just so dope, dude.
Thank you.
For those of you listening on Spotify and stuff, go to the YouTube because you're missing out on how he makes these pieces. And yeah, even the music.
Yeah, I cried a couple of times when you were doing it.
Like, that is so dope. That is so dope, dude. I mean, this should be put on the Marvel Universe Instagram and all of that stuff, you know?
But you know what? It reached enough people to appreciate it, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, I wish I can get that kind of fame, but you know what? If I touched one person with the art piece like you,
Yeah,
I'm blessed for that.
dude, it was so dope.
Thank you.
You made me a standee, right?
Yeah, I did.
Can we watch that video? Can we watch the second video, please? Because I want to show, because it's a different stand.
Yeah, I had to,
And,
for the show, I did a special edition one for you.
Yeah, it's in the middle, not in the middle. Yeah, keep going.
This one took me about 14 hours solid to make.
Okay. He's going to figure out how to do this. Press the arrow on the top. Come on, yeah, there you go. It's the last one. Yeah, this one. Okay. I've been waiting for this one because I've told about a million people. I'm like, watch the Stan Lee that I'm getting. Dude, it's the detail as well. It just looks like it's so time consuming.
It is. Like, that's all my art pieces that I have.
Yeah.
You got the layers there being built. Okay. Of course, I'm doing a dramatic shot.
Yeah. So you use the same colors.
Yeah.
Similar colors.
Similar colors. Yeah.
On the there's the action shot.
There's the action shot. There's the money shot right there.
It is.
Of course,
So
I had this.
no glasses on this one, right?
No.
Okay. Dickhead.
You want me to sign it?
That's amazing, dude.
No, I actually did do a Stanley, but I couldn't resist. You know, you're going on your show. I'm like, I gotta punk him. There's no point.
Right?
There's no point not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's 14 of my.
I actually like the Leo, dude. Now that we're saying, where is my one? Is it that one next to the one that we played?
It's right next to Stanley. There we go.
Yeah. So the one on the left of the stand that you played.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one. No, this is yours.
So dope. Dude, how do you think of the concept of the layers, dude? Is that a very time consuming?
Oh, the design style? It's coming second nature now.
Just for those on Spotify, we're watching the standee in case you think that there's something wrong with your phone and there was silence.
You can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done. And if you can take
Hearing this kind of makes me upset while I'm looking at it being made. It brings out a lot of emotion.
look at it and say, I did that, I think it's pretty damn good. That's the great feeling. So don't let idiots
Dude, that is so dope. So dope, dude.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, I literally have my place in the house that is ready. But obviously it's going to have to be high enough for the gremlins not to eat it. Because they do that.
Here you go, sir.
Oh, that's so dope.
I'll sign
we
it
need to sign that.
I will sign it.
Guys, you have to look at this. Benga, this is in shot, right? In the middle camera, let's hold it together. That is dope. Dude, the detail is so sick, dude. So this one, you did the sponge thing as well, right?
No, this one's
No?
all compressed, complete compressed.
So it has a lot of layers on this one.
Count how many layers. Let's see how you got there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
There you go.
Boom.
7 layers of paper. Italian paper, if you want to
Dude.
go.
The colors, how do you... Let me put this here because I want it in shot.
Is that okay?
So how do you do this, dude? Like, because like just thinking about this now, it's like, how do you go? All right, I mean, I don't know if these are trade secrets. But
Yes, I will have to kill you after this. Is this online? Are you recording
Don't worry,
this?
between you
Oh,
and
between
me.
you and me.
Between you and me.
Yeah, between you.
How do you go from, okay, this is the white layer. This is. Do you actually? Somebody asked me, my editor, Arash, the man. I have to give you a plug there because he doesn't get enough. The guy's a beast. He was like, are they 3D printed, or how? I'm really interested in how he does that whole.
I get that question.
Yeah.
Well, for me, when I started doing this, I had to struggle with what color goes where.
Yeah.
Okay, so after I used to start doing it with 3 colors. So you have the black, the gray, and the white.
Okay.
These have to be in order. So you go from darkest to lightest.
But do you draw the whole picture
You
first?
sketch it.
You sketch it.
You sketch it.
with
So-
the shading, with all this.
with
stuff.
with the shading. So basically, you take each paper and you start sketching. Okay, like this goes here, and then when you're like you saw in the video, I'm removing
from each one.
from one go. Okay, like the black should never cross over the brown.
Yeah.
The brown should never cross over. So it's kind of like you won't find a black piece touching a yellow, for example. These are the rules that you have. Now I could the simplest way of doing it is if I print out a stencil, I'm just removing that part out, and then I'm coloring the back with the color paper, whatever
Yeah.
I want to do.
Yeah.
But this is pure colored paper. I haven't spray painted this.
Bro, that's so fucking dope, dude.
Thank you so much.
Like
And
I'm getting, I know this sounds, and I'm not doing a promotion thing here. Like I'm getting like such a feeling in my heart
that's
right
what
now because
this is what the impact
from this
is.
picture and the way he's looking at me, dude, and the fact that he's passed, and it's like so personal, dude.
Yeah, I picked this picture because it was him thinking. Okay, and he's like, "How you going to solve this problem?"
Yeah, yeah.
Because all his stories were about conflict,
Yeah.
about resolution. How will the heroes overcome? Now your journey, you have 1,000,001 battles.
Yeah.
Just imagine Stanley is just writing you and writing your story. How are you going to epically overcome this? So I like with this, with the art piece, let's say someone that you dearly love. Let's say we both
Yeah,
love Stan Lee.
yeah.
If this is gifted to any comic fan,
Yeah.
they go, this is going up. And it'll be up
Yeah.
on the wall forever.
Yeah.
I did a piece for someone that in memoriam is no longer with us.
Yeah.
The story, but I'll change the story a little bit. One Christmas, my brother was being an absolute douche. He just got himself a nice fancy job. My company's downsizing and whatever. And I was doing this for the past 2 years. So Christmas was sitting down. He goes, "What did you get, Mom?" I went, I made her an art piece. Huh? Literally that Leo look, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I bought her diamonds. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Let me go first, set the expectation level high, and you can disappoint her. Okay? In so many
Little did
words. And I was like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right. I felt bad about it. I'm like, I
Yeah.
should have spent money on this. So he goes, "Mom, I got you these earrings." She gave him a big, "Oh, I love them." She starts touching her ears, taking photos and whatever. "Oh, I love them." And he sat there and said, "That's how it's done, son. That's how it's done." So, I'm like, "All right, Mom, look, I made a picture." And it was of her mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was a picture of her mom. And it was difficult for me because I never met my grandmother. She passed a year before I was born.
Yeah.
And so what did I put it in a frame? And it's an old photo, but then with that old photo, I gave it new life, new color. It was a black and white. It was in this color. And on the back, I wrote down, "I knew her love through you." That's it.
Oh, you're such a dickhead now. I want to cry.
Okay. And I gave it to her. So first of all, she opened it, started crying seeing that. And then she turned it over and read the message. So she started bawling. Okay, well, proper, son and mother kind of thing. And I give my mom a hug and I turn her slowly at my
towards your
brother.
brother.
I'm looking at him like this. I'm like, "Love you, Mom. Sorry I can't afford diamonds." And I'm looking at him square in the eye the whole time. Okay? And she's like, "I love it." She started taking pictures. She started crying. She started showing her sister.
Yeah.
"I want one," and whatever. And I sat down. I went, how much were the diamonds, by the way?
Yeah.
And he's like,
But it's so true. A gift from the heart is always.
this is
always,
the problem
always, yeah.
with this. I did another piece for a young lady who lost her father, and she commissioned it. And this is a message to all those other artists out there. If you're going to do something, get the money up front. Why? Because when you present the art piece, the person's going to be bawling, crying, and going, "I just love it so much," and you're sitting there going,
Yeah. See, I didn't know your father very much, so I kind of got parking ticket. I'm gonna get a ticket.
So I'm sitting there like, it took me about maybe 18 hours to do solid on this, and as you can see, I used different grade. And you're like,
little did I know that it was gonna take me 18 hours to do 19 hours to leave your house.
yes, that's what's kind of thing. But I got a funny story about that. It was I got called up. A young lady called me up, and she said, I seen your art, and I want a commission for my family. And I went, how big do you want it? She says, oh, as big as you can get it. I went, oh, okay. So let's say a Stanley's around roughly the size is around 3,000 dirhams. Okay. And she said, no, I want it as big as you can. I can go A1. Yeah. This is an A3. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be a pretty penny. She's like, oh, okay. I need a discount on this and whatever. I went, you know what? Look, my son needs this. And that was me. I was like, what I need, I would get. Just plug holes. I was never like an entrepreneur on that. We're like, oh, this is going to invest in Bitcoin, God knows what. So I'd like, all right, I'll do the whole thing for 5,000. Okay, that's good. You sure you can't do it? Ma'am, you're asking for something this large. It's going to take me this amount of time. Can you get it framed? I went, yeah, okay, fine. So I'm eating into what I agreed to. So she said, can you deliver it in Dubai? I went, because I'm based in Abu Dhabi. I was like, okay, no problem. So I came driving all the way down. She gave me a pin. And I'm driving around, can't find her place because I kept passing this resort, this roundabout. I'm like, look, ma'am, I'm really sorry. I can't find this. She's like, do you see the roundabout? Yeah. Do you see the resort? Yeah. Go in. I went in to the resort. Yeah. So the gate goes up and the guy goes, are you here to see so-and-so? I went, yeah. I drive in. It's a freaking mansion. Okay. And the butler comes out. Mr. Sharif, welcome. She asked for a goddamn discount.
Yeah, you're haggling me on that, but that happens a lot.
We go in. She's wearing like Hello Kitty PJs. Oh, I love the art piece and whatever. There's a freaking Ferrari in the living room. And I'm sitting there going, I gave this person a discount and I paid for the frame and I drove it down here myself. And I'm looking at the whole time like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like,
dude, that happens a lot. I always found, so I was in the personal training business for a long time.
It doesn't show.
And I know. And what I found was the people who had the money were always the ones that tried to haggle right down to the end. People who didn't have, they weren't millionaires, they would accept the price and be like, they value the thing. But maybe that's why they're still rich, because they don't spend any money on anything, right?
So just imagine that situation.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, and the guy says, I would like a cup of coffee, please. I'm having a cup of coffee in your house. Oh, okay. Do you like my dad's car? It's a vintage. I'm like, yeah, it's a vintage. I want to show you some art. And she takes me down what is supposed to be her hall.
Yeah.
And she said, this person gave me this art piece. The art piece, I am not kidding, is probably, take the whole building. That's how long it was. This person painted it. And she gave it as a gift. And I'm sitting there going, I gave you a discount. I drove back home miserable.
So, bitter.
Okay. And literally, general, you want to do it? I would like to do an art piece. No, you don't. I'm done. I'm done. This is it. I'm retiring right here.
Now, what happened with the deaf girl?
It was one Comic-Con. I'm going to get so much shit for this. Please, we're
going to leave it to you, Arash, whether this gets taken out or put in.
So what happened was, I'm setting up, okay, and I'm helping the young lady next to me with her stand and the person next to me, and I'm just getting up all the art pieces. Next thing I hear someone mumbling behind me. And then tap me on my arm. And I turn around and I jump. Like, what the fuck? Okay, and this lady standing right next to me, and she was trying to ask me something. I'm like, don't fucking do that. Don't sneak up on people. That's not right. Don't be so quiet. Make a noise. Okay? And she's like, can I please? And I'm not making any fun by this. This is me being arrogant here, okay? And I'm like, what? Speak up. Okay, my friend Scotty, I can swear, he's standing next to me going, is he doing? And I'm like, can I help you? Do you have? Okay. And this is me because she was quiet. I didn't realize. And she startled me because I nearly fell off my little stool. Okay, and she's like, "Do you have change? You want what change?"
Yeah.
And then you know that little light bulb.
Yeah.
You have managers in your head.
Yeah.
There's a manager from the back of your head just makes it to the front.
He's pushing everyone.
He's pushing
past,
everyone.
like, stop this!
Stop this!
fucking asshole! Yeah.
Okay, and I went, huh? And then I realized what I had done,
Yeah.
and I felt absolutely dog shit the entire time. Okay, and Scotty's like, I have change. Come, and he started, you know, she said, thank you so much. And I went, bye, and literally she gave me evils as she
The
walked
whole
away.
time.
And Scott goes, if there are any other disabled people you would like to insult, let me know before.
By the way, there's a blind guy walking past there. Just leave him to me. Yeah.
Bro, you don't understand. I have foot to mouth disease.
Yeah,
It's quick.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. And you were probably the talk of the Comic-Con.
Oh, they were like, are you the guy that abuses the charity? No.
You know, the little kids, the mums that walk past, like, you've got a reputation, so the kids like, mom, shit, don't go
No, don't go there. That's
Don't
a
go to
mean
that
man.
one."
He
Yeah,
doesn't. Yeah, that's why I give to charities right now heavily. Just because out of my.
You're giving a lot of stuff to charities. With
Yeah,
your work and stuff, right?
I work with a company called 1610, and thanks to Reza and his team, they've always managed to put me in places where I shouldn't be. Like at galas,
Yeah.
at the Global Gift Foundation, at the Abu Dhabi Dream Ball, and Swing for Cancer. So he approached me once and said, "Hey, I'm doing this show. Would you like to do an art piece?" And I'm sitting there going, "Yeah, I've got a Sheikh Zayed and I've got Muhammad Ali. I'll take Muhammad Ali and that." He said. I went, "Okay." I said, "He said, how much do you want for it?" I said, "I'm very bad with pricing. That's because sales is not my strongest." So he said, "Okay, we'll put each one for 8,000 dirhams." I went, "Okay." He said, "Bring your wife. Let's go down to the show." So me and the wife kitted up, and here's the thing: I'm not the guy you'd invite to a ball.
Yeah.
So I put on my suit, you know, and we went. My wife looked absolutely stunning. She's like, "Where?" And she was the kind of person. "How much did that dress cost?"
Yeah, yeah.
And why is she wearing that? And of course, me to wind her up. There was models everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, babe, see that girl over there, tall? It's my ex.
Yeah.
And she was just looking at me, really? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And every time someone walked by, it's my ex. So we were there, and my art piece for Muhammad Ali was standing next to Muhammad Ali memorabilia, a glove signed,
Nice.
the article signed, all these things. I'm thinking, I'm not going to sell anything at all. So next thing that happens was,
Keep going.
no. So next thing that happens was they said check the auction app, and as the auction was going up, they were fighting over this Muhammad Ali. Okay, and it went, instead for 8,000, it went for 80,000.
Wow.
I'm sitting there going, okay, all right. And then the Sheikh Zayed got sold as well, and I managed to help. And one of the and at the end of the day, some of the, like, there was a portion going to cancer research, and there was to help locals. And this little boy came up and said, "Thank you. This is going to my treatment." And I didn't know I could. I mean, I would love to give money and help.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's within us. But the fact that I did something that took time to
Directly,
do
yeah.
indirectly to help, and then literally the following year he was at that event thanking everyone. And I just felt like he was telling me about his journey. I started balling up. I'm like, I always wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And I can say I did, and I want to continue. So if there's any charities you support that are raising, please let me know.
Yeah, no, for sure, because I saw you brought a lot of pieces with you, and charity starts at home. So if you want to leave some with me, I don't mind keeping a lot of them. Let's go through a couple of these pieces, because he literally has a suitcase of stuff, and honestly, I think maybe I need to do like a 2-minute, like, just a collage of all of the stuff that you're bringing. But we chose a couple of bits that really need to be seen, and they're awesome. Let's go through a couple of them, for sure. What we got? What we start?
All right, we're going to start off with our good friend Thanos here.
Thanos.
This art piece was a challenging one. This is probably the first time I actually combined 8 colors together. As you can see, so basically you got the 4 golds to browns all the way,
Nice.
and then you have the purples throughout.
So nice.
Okay,
You like the oranges, huh? And the yellows and the
I'm trying to do color. I can do black and white.
yeah.
till-
No, for sure. I noticed that, and the blues you do
Yeah.
really nicely as well.
It depends on what I'm limited by paper.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: Arkham Creative had a tagline, "Paper Blade Art,"
Yeah.
and I kind of boxed myself into a corner.
yeah.
I'm like, I would like to use paint now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right now it's Rick Sharif Blade Art. So
yeah, exactly. yeah, exactly. And then it's just going to be Rick Sharif art after.
yeah, and then it's just
yeah.
Arr.
Yeah.
Um,
So Thanos.
and then you have Marilyn Monroe. Okay, this is basically done with basically 3 layers.
Nice.
You start from the white, going all the way down. It was fun to do. Everyone loves a Marilyn.
Nice.
This is probably
Batman.
the action. Whoa!
Oh, it's not. It's Wolverine.
It's
What am I
Wolverine,
doing?
as you can see. Yep. So this is was taken from a comic. Okay, the artist's name is, I can't remember the artist's name right now, but it was in a black and white. So I colored it.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
See, the thing is, the people can't actually see the detail of this because, which is what I like about it is when you first look at it, if it's on a wall, you're like, oh, it's one flat surface.
It's one flat surface.
Then when you start looking into it and you see how and all the colors how they pop after when you see
The thing is, what helps is the shadows.
Mm.
It gives it that detail, that
Yeah,
extra. And then we have the
Spider-Man.
Uncle Bob.
Yeah. That's
it's
an iconic.
So
one.
I'm doing now. I'm actually experimenting doing the covers. So this, you know, this is, I think it was called not Black Mirror. It was called white, something Mirror. Okay, so I'm experimenting. So as you can see, like the black and whites, there's 4 layers there, but there's these ones. Sorry,
Keep going. He's going through his box of wonders.
my box.
These are the recent ones that you
These are the
posted.
recent ones that
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
done. So as you can see now, I'm actually just going after the comic covers. So basically, you have the blank in the back, and then basically I've done the Spidey above it. So you have your
Nice.
own very own comic that's blown up. So this is from the King in Black. This is the Michael Turner.
Yeah.
Okay, that he produced. There's supposed to be a Venom at the back of this, or the Statue of Liberty. So I've turned around and said, okay, fine. I printed the back.
Yeah.
All right, but people say you should cut out the back as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I went, okay, hang
Let's
on,
see.
calm
Yeah,
down,
it's a work in
calm
process,
down,
yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll get to it.
Yeah.
So there you go. So this is basically 4 layers with that, with the background printed. So imagine this is framed in your comic book collection along with your Stan
Yeah.
Lee.
The-
Let's get to these guys.
Let's get Leo out.
Yeah, you know what you could do?
That's
Frame this
funny.
and say this is the founder.
Yeah, right? This is so dope. I like this one.
And of course, this was the other colors that I do as well of Sheikh Zayed.
Nice.
Okay, and this is Sheikh Salman, the Crown Prince of Bahrain.
Dude, these are so dope. And these are the kind of things that I could see you getting commissioned. We want 50-foot one, please.
50
foot to go
You know
on
what?
Sheikh Zayed Road.
You know what? The mandate that I got from the Rove was they loved it. They're like, but this has to be paper. Now, paper, if you leave it out in humidity, it will
Yeah,
curl.
it's gonna curl, yeah.
Okay, they said, can you do it in plastic or in resin? I went, and as a creative, the answer is always yes.
Yeah.
I can make you an art piece, but it's not going to be, it's an art piece.
Yeah, yeah.
But is it your art piece? That's the question. So I said, yeah. So they said, okay, take this design that we like and go figure out how to do it. And the lady says, we want it 5 meters by 4 meters. And I'm like, there's not enough paper that I can get this done. So I literally rented a factory
Wow.
floor. I said, okay, we're going to have to do this in laser. So I had to literally pen in every curve, everything. And now the thing is,
Wow.
for the royal family here in the UAE, there's 4. So I had to duplicate that process.
each, yeah.
Yeah, but then here's the kicker for you. The factory manager said, you cannot be on the floor during assembly. I'm like, why? He says, you're not trained. I went, we're going to be using chloroform.
Yeah.
Now, this is a funny thing. Can you
He'd
smell
be
this?
like, I have had chloroform on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
blanket a couple of times on a napkin.
So this is what happened was I'm like, look, I need to be there. Okay, and I hired a guy to help me move these sheets. Now, they were putting chloroform onto the thing, and chloroform with plastic
Yeah.
welds it. It's like a super
Okay.
glue quickly. And I put the cloth down. The guy picked it up, wiped his nose.
No.
All of a sudden, dunk on the floor. And he said, sir, this is why we're not wanting you. And I'm like, all right, just follow my instructions,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's that.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's hanging up in the Rove, if I'm not mistaken, Port Said.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. Let's get that Biggie and Tupac out.
Ah,
Because they are like these are iconics,
yes.
iconic pieces, iconic poses as well.
So, first of all, we got the prayer of Tupac. Can you get that?
He's
And
got everything.
there you go.
So dope.
And the thing is, when I start layering, as you can see, I freak out. As you can see, I'm glued this part here, but that adds to the. It's part of the.
Yeah,
It's part
yeah.
of the thing.
Once it's framed, it's fine.
But here's the thing: if you just purely look at the black of this,
yeah.
okay, when I'm cutting this, I'm like, this looks like dog shit. I can't do this. This is. But then once the layers start coming together, you get that.
Yeah.
So you go on faith in the beginning. You're like, okay, my measurements are right. My sketch is right.
Yeah.
Trust the process. It's always
Yeah.
just trust the process.
I keep looking over at Stanley. He's such a dude. I really appreciate that, man.
No, it's my pleasure, man, and I appreciate
such
you
a-
for bringing me on this show.
No,
and,
for sure. It's just such a intense picture. The stare as well is so intense.
If you watch it, see it from further away,
Yeah.
it's a different dimension.
yeah.
You come up close, it looks like a heap of just random cuts. I mean, you can,
No, but I really like the up close.
yeah. But
Like-
then you take a step back. It's a whole new.
I really
game.
like the up close, and he has this look that can mean. See, this is art because it's like, what is he thinking? You know, you can get that because.
Well, like if you listen to the video,
he's
there's a
sitting like
voiceover on the video. Oops.
He's saying it like, I don't know if I like this podcast or not. He's like, I'll get back to you on that.
Well, in the video that
Yeah.
I made for you, he's actually talking about
Yeah,
your
yeah.
good idea.
Yeah.
And don't let idiots tell you
Yeah.
otherwise. You've got a good thing. You've got a good platform, and yeah.
I mean, a lot of people do that, man. A lot of people like to get involved and not support people from the beginning, and then all of a sudden, when everyone's following us, it's a big thing. They're like, oh yeah, I wanna, get involved. It's like, oh come on, mate, get over it.
There was one girl, I think it was in Comic-Con 2017. Day one, I was having a really bad day, and I decided to go to the restroom to wash up and come back. Because you're dealing with art, shaking hands, and this is pre-COVID protocols. Your hands are literally a petri dish. I came back and I kept walking past this young little lady, and she just had a comic book open, and she's just there deflated. I think maybe on the second run, I went. What is this? No one's coming to her booth or her stand, and her mom's like, she doesn't like to talk. I went, okay, well, tell me more about this character. And it was about a little girl that had a superpower, and she made a full-blown first edition comic. And I was blown away that this 12-year-old managed to make a comic. So I was like, what's wrong? No one's coming? She's like, no one's coming down here. And I thought to myself, well, I'm very good at making a scene.
Yeah.
So let's just combine this. So I literally stood up on a chair and I started telling everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and like pronounced it like there was an emergency.
Yeah.
I said, this little girl has made a comic about who? What's her name? And I just, giving the information that she was telling me. I said, she is 12 and she has made a comic. Please come and check this talent out. And slowly, there was a crowd of people flipping through her comic, and there was a young lady named Miriam from Arte, and she holds these these artist galleries. So if you make some of them make cats, some of them make whatever it is, it's a maker's market. And she said, I would like you to come and have a booth with us and to get your artwork over. And I was like, I had nothing to do with this. It's her talent. I was just making a jackass of myself, making a scene, which I'm pretty much good at doing with deaf people.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
So I said, let me apply my superpower.
This is your redemption.
Yes. So let me do this for you. And, she got the confidence to talk to people. And it's all within you. You just need that one person to throw you out
Just,
the
give you that.
So she started, but you could, if you see someone deflated, I can't stand a creative
Yeah.
that, I mean, there were a couple of times where you feel like, I can't do this.
Everyone goes through that where they're just like, no one's watching, or these algorithms aren't helping.
Oh, dude, you
know
gotta
what I
understand, when COVID came, like, I literally got organized. I was like, 2020 is my year. I've got 9 events. I bought what you call the scheduling poster.
Yeah.
I got that there. And I was like, okay, I got a new laptop that could do all my videos quickly. Got a new system. 2020 is my year. I am going to make, and then literally cancel.
Yeah,
I even bought a website. I put the website. I had I was like, I gotta put these calendars in. I have to buy the premium because I can't. You can't have 5. I have like 10 or 12 events. Literally cancel, and then you're like, oh, this is lovely.
Yeah, this is life now.
Yeah. So I ended
It's
up
the worst.
the whole of.
I did the opposite. With the whole training stuff, it was like cancel, gym's closed. I was like, I'm starting a podcast. I was like, all right, let's see what happens here.
I talk to people in the
Yeah,
gym.
exactly. I'm talking shit all day to my friends. It's funny, so now I'm going to record it and see what happens. But who have been the people around you that have really kind of supported you, that you kind of, because everyone has, because me, it's kind of funny. With mine, it was a lot of the people that I didn't expect, or not that I didn't expect. Like for example, Benga and these kind of people who, in the beginning when I was starting all that stuff, I was like, I can't pay, I can't do this, and they were just like, dude, we love what you're doing. I'm all right. How can I help? You know, my editor in the UK, who was just like, dude, I love what you're doing. I want to help. Like, how do I do it? You know, another friend of mine came in and he was like, you know, what's kind of happening, Adam? You know, what are your bottlenecks right now? I was like, you know, a couple of mics and blah, blah. He's like, all right, let's go do it. So they see the kind of,
You got
and they want to help.
potential.
Then you got other people who are just like really close to you, and they're like, yeah.
No, you got a good base of people
You know?
around you, and you got to surround yourself with people that would say, "Listen, they are selfless." That's it. So, like the people that surrounded me, I mean, I got my creativity from my mom's side, but I also got my how to fix from my dad's side. So basically, the creative side meets the how-to part, and that's how it was born. But I have to give credit to my wife, Munir and Scotty, for basically constantly pushing me, saying, okay, I mean, Scotty is a harsh critic.
Yeah.
You'll turn around and go, yeah, it's good. I'm like, Scotty, what do you think? It's shit.
Yeah.
So, and then my wife was like, you can do it. My wife is, she's like the worst critic. I would literally draw the shittiest thing. Babe, what do you think? Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Sean's, it's
exactly like my wife. She's so supportive. She's a bloody angel, dude. It's like she supported me throughout everything, and sometimes I'm just like,
why me?
Yeah, like what did I like?
What did I do
What
right?
did I do to deserve you? Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'm look, we're blessed
Yeah.
people. I mean, I've got 2 kids, Aaron and Jake. I want to say hi to you guys. I know you're
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah.
And yeah, those 2 are tearaway, and that's what drives you. Now
Yeah.
you're a dad and everything. You're like, I gotta make this work.
Yeah.
Okay, it's for them. And my brother and my sister have always supported me through this. So yeah, Max, these people just.
But also at the same time, the kind of people that we are is we support a lot of people behind the scenes as well. So I guess if karma's real, this is coming back, you know, one way or another.
And let's say I always want to pay it forward.
even if it's not, then at least I'm going to pay it forward and see.
And I
See
appreciate
other
that.
people do well, you know.
I
And
appreciate.
that's the thing. One thing I've started to notice is like, people only want to build or be a part of the community once it's at the top. But that's the complete opposite.
That's the destination.
It's
Those are
about,
destinationists.
destination is fair weather friends, but
Yeah.
it's about building the community in the beginning and everyone growing together, and that's when you get one hell of a team. That's when you get the balls, like, you know,
Yeah.
the Jordan balls, where everyone has been there from the beginning. They're pushing.
I mean, like I said, like,
everyone's sacrificed here and there where they need to, and then when it hits, everyone's looked after.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. I've come through this, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to pay it forward. I'm going to support charities and whatever. And I'm not the first person to go, how much for me to do this? I'll be like, yeah, let's do this and get it over and done with. Now, once, I mean, after this podcast, you're going to get millions of followers
Yeah,
because of
course,
me.
of course.
Okay, you're going to ignore
That's
my
why I
post.
got you on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just add value.
Yeah, no brainer. No brainer.
YouTube shut you down.
It's like the video got taken off. Why? Deaf community guidelines and standards. Yeah.
There's a game here I think you might want to remove. So this is where I'm giving you a you know, just a pause so you can do these out. One of the games, one of the sales techniques that we used to do at Comic-Con to keep the boredom was, if I'm going to sell to you, I'm going to have to, and this is the trick that you do with you have to put in a trigger word or a word, like the word is sausage. During the sale, you have to drop this clearly in the sales pitch. Okay, and like, what was it? Mine was, I'm really wet right now. So I'm talking to this family, and they were and literally the conversation steered to, I want to do one for my grandma. So I'm sitting there going, and like Scotty and Munir are like, all right, he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. We haven't heard it yet. So I'm like, so when I do this, it's going to be really respectful, and I'm really wet right now. And your grandma will be displayed, and you have this. The fuck?
Like, did he? Like, it's almost so bad that they're like,
nah, he didn't. No, he would never talk about gam like that.
Yeah, man, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Dude, the pleasure is all mine, man.
to
Thank
you on, and I'm sure we're going to be doing a lot of work together in the future.
I'll support
For
you, man,
sure,
no matter
for
what,
sure.
man. You name it.
But same back to you. If you ever need an eraser or a rubber while you're there, I'll stand there and just.
I'm
going to
count how many art pieces I've gone missing by the
Do
time.
not count how many pieces you came in with, because
It's a suitcase.
you're leaving with a load. Yeah, see, these for the guests that come in, they're going to be special gifts for the. Hey guys, by the way, this is from Rick Sharif.
There's two versions.
Yeah.
There's the Arabic side of me, which I'm half British. I'd be like, Habibi,
Yeah,
Ayuni,
yeah,
whatever you
Ayuni,
want.
yeah.
And the British side, you're funny.
Yeah, like, you're
I'm going to
funny
take
guy.
these.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also follow Rick on all of his Instagram channels. I will get them up here. And it's been great, and you know, I really appreciate the stand. It's come gonna stay with me in my heart. And I kind of really like where it is right now, to be honest. I did want to take it
make
home.
sure you
I'll frame it as well.
Yeah,
of
because the
dust and all
humidity
that
will
stuff, yeah.
warp the paper, and then you go,
Mm.
it's made out of tissue.
Ooh, we have a giveaway. Where is that
Oh,
Heath Ledger Joker?
yes.
Is it over there on the? I think it's on the no, not that one. The Joker.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh yes. So guys, we are going to be giving away this epic Heath Ledger Joker.
I can't believe we forgot about him.
Yeah, right. This whole time, this is a sick piece, and it's quite simple but intense at the same time. I say simple before you slap me in my face, but I mean like
Do you know how
it's
long
very
it took me?
it's very central. It's not like loads of different. It's a big picture.
Mhm.
But it's so dope. So I'm gonna pretend to give this away and then make one of my friends win it and put it in my house, guys. So if you guys want to take part in
What?
this giveaway,
I didn't sign up for this. No.
guys. So this is gonna be given away. Try to be a Joker fan and don't just try and get the giveaway because it's a giveaway.
Yeah, no, you have
you
to.
know?
You have to be a fan.
Yeah.
And it has to go in the man cave.
This is also going to be signed, so you're going to have a signed piece from Rick Sharif, which is also a very good thing to have, guys. Dude, I appreciate you.
Dude,
so
pleasure's
much,
all
man.
mine. Thank you so much, Habibi. You sure this is going to someone?
Yeah.
You sure? Hang on, I could just see you rigging this.
Rigging it all. Any more giveaways? Going on? Yeah, guys, amazing. And tune in for the next episode. Peace.